Councilmember Royer?
Here.
Councilmember Morris?
Here.
Councilmember McGuire, absent. Vice Mayor Smith?
Here.
Councilmember Clancy?
Here.
Councilmember Diefendorfer?
Here.
And Mayor Bunch.
Here. Okay, mostly present, accounted for in one form or other. Let's see here. Maggie, would you lead us in the pledge?
America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, with liberty and justice for all.
All right.
It's got those man. It's not going to.
Well, golly. I guess we're going to move right forward to the special presentation of the town we participate. Well, won't you come up and tell us about the program a little bit? And I'll walk around down
If I could
front.
introduce, this is Joel Fisher with APS, and he can explain the APS Peak Solutions program that the town participates in.
All right, if you do it, yeah, if you would, please.
Good evening. My name is Joel Fisher. I work for the APS Peak Solutions Demand Response Program. I'm here this evening to present a check to the town of Cave Creek, the participation in the APS Peak Solutions Demand Response Program. The Demand Response Program is a load shedding program where we have over 700 participants, and the town of Cave Creek is one of the largest participants that we have in the program. Since 2012, the town of Cave Creek has earned over $91,000 for their participation. So in the summer months when there's a grid emergency, we call on the town to shed non-essential loads for exchange for financial compensation. So we do thank you a lot for all you do, because we can't make this program successful without you. So thank you.
How did we do this year? 1356. I guess, I don't know, I'm not really into this stuff.
Well, you could do that.
Speech.
It's better than frowning. The check's right side.
Is Robert here?
Thank you, Joel.
Glad to help, especially when y'all pay us. What do we got next? Public announcements. Geez, I just got drawn a total blank here, so let's go call the public.
John Sellers?
Mr. Mayor, Councilman, my name is John Sellers. Excuse my cough. I'm a property owner in Rancho Madeira, registered voter there, but recently moved to Carefree. I was here a few weeks ago asking that a discussion of flooding issues take place for the next Planning Commission. The meeting last Thursday ended up being agendized for council members, commissioners, and water advisory group members to include a discussion on conflicts of interest for all those, quotes, in attendance, unquotes. Despite the agenda, little or no discussion took place on conflicts, and I was denied the opportunity to speak as someone, quotes, in attendance, unquotes. As someone who's helped organise seminars on OML, it was a useful reminder of OML principles that council members can actually respond in the call to the public to criticism. Given some comments on Carefree, my new home, a useful reminder also, if you don't have anything good to say about something, absent good reason, you probably shouldn't say anything. Your attorney was handed these comments at the meeting, by the way, sitting next to me, so I hope this comes as no surprise to you what I'm going to say. Bit of context, as explained here previously, I've been in dispute with the Rancho Madeira HOA over CC&R violations related to chicken wire netting and plants blocking internal drainage channels. So I used the Department of Real Estate HOA dispute resolution process before an administrative law judge. There, if the evidence and testimony by Mr. Kaplan, the HOA board president, is to be believed, Mr. Sova, both an HOA board member and town councilman, did 20 hours of thorough research uncovering a plat, which was the core of their evidence and defence. But to me, acting as a city councilman, he seems to have intervened effectively, indirectly albeit, as a main player in the dispute. That's because, one, he never made any official records requests were he acting as a citizen? 2, when he later sought out the all-important as-built plans, he again bypassed the official record system. And he was given for free the very same scans that I paid $60 for as a citizen to the town for. And by the time of the second hearing, I finally had the as-built plans, giving chapter and verse on these drainage issues. I think I mentioned, despite that, the judge ruled that the Rancho Madeira subdivision is not even in a floodplain. The flood control district rebuttal on this was so clear and so quick, frankly, that I felt necessary to appear before the Board of Maricopa County Board of Supervisors last week, thanking them for the district's response to the ALG's ruling. Back to conflicts. I would love to hear Mr. Silva rebut me and explain whether he believes he had a conflict. But the one answer I cannot accept is the one he gave me to a question at the HOA board meeting last Thursday, where he said, quotes, "That's a trick question," unquotes. So I'd welcome any rebuttal here, and now, councilmen, councilwomen, if you feel my criticism is unwarranted.
3 minutes.
No takers? Thank you.
Do we have any more? All right. Town manager report.
Mayor, members of council, just an update on the rodeo grounds and upcoming agreement we've been working with the rodeo committee on for putting on the Cape Creek Rodeo. So that will come before council at the second meeting in February. That's going to be Tuesday, the 19th. And the rodeo grounds itself, we've completed nearly all of the fencing and gates at the end, the timed event end of the arena, providing for more vendor space. Also, not at the next meeting, which is February 4th, just a reminder that the February 19th meeting is actually a Tuesday due to the holiday, and there will be the sign ordinance will be discussed and possible action taken on that ordinance. We had a couple of incidents over the weekend. I asked the town marshal to just briefly address for the council and public.
Mr. Mayor, Council, Vice Mayor. Never good when the marshal has to give you an address on what happened over the weekend. However, Friday evening, right around midnight, we had an individual in town who chose to pull out a firearm and shoot into our median. No one was injured, thank God. The median's going to recover as well, thank God. Sheriff's office took care of it. The subject was placed in custody, and I don't think he'll be doing that again anytime soon. Second incident we had, which was unusual, we had a young lady riding a horse who bucked off, fell off for whatever reason. I wasn't there, don't know exactly what happened, but suffered a very significant injury as well. We have a lot of horses in town, and she was on the trail when it happened. Just unfortunate, but very significant injuries. That's all.
That's all we have at this time.
Go ahead. Actually, can we ask questions?
It relates, if it's to ask staff to do something or to direct the future action to be taken, because it's called to the public.
It's actually directed at Carrie for something that she said. It's regarding the rodeo, and perhaps it's because I'm new to the council. I'm really not familiar with the program itself and the town's participation, and it's the extent to which we do participate and sponsor. And I was wondering, before their presentation on February 19th, could we have some kind of background information, some historical information on previous rodeos and how much we participate and what's required of us at this point in time?
Mayor, Councilmember Roy, the staff report that will go with the agreement should give the background and history of this, and the purpose of entering into an agreement is actually to clarify and to put in writing what each of our responsibilities is and will be. And so in the past, we have simply had an agreement for the use of the grounds, and the town has participated under, budget. There were budgetary items approved by the council. This actually kind of memorializes and then commits both entities to what their position and responsibilities, both staff-wise, financially, all the actions. So that is the purpose of entering into an agreement, because there have been different things happening in different years, and this will kind of set, the base for how we'll operate the rodeo with the committee. It also kind of takes out the names and individuals, and it's the town and the committee itself. So there isn't a conflict. We're each obligated to whatever both entities agree to.
That's
So
perfect.
that's the whole concept
Thank
behind
you.
it.
That's
to
exactly what I was
so make it
hoping
simpler
for.
and more clear.
All right, moving on to the consent agenda. Approval of the January 7th, 2019 regular town council meeting minutes and approval of the December 17th, 2018 regular town council meeting minutes. We have a motion.
Approve, move to approve the minutes of December 17th, 2018 regular town council meeting.
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. 6-0. Appears the motion. You did both of them, right? Yeah. Okay. Moving on. General agenda item number 1. Council discussion, possible approval of deeds of gift for 7 non-motorized public trail easements placed on the agenda by the Director of Planning. I'm assuming with you, both of y'all sitting there, you'll tell us some stuff.
I sure am. Mayor, members of council. In conformance with the 2005 general plan, staff actively seeks trail easements, non-motorized trail easements, either through participation from applicants, owners coming to staff and offering, or staff seeing a building permit come through the process, or a site plan, zoning clearance, something of that sort, and seeing the need for a trail easement if it lines up with the trails map of the general plan. Bambi does all the work and legwork with the applicants, speaking with them about the benefits of such trail easements, and then has the paperwork prepared, the surveys, determining what width is required, be it 10 feet or 15 feet, depending on the terrain, and then has the easements put together, and in this case has brought 7 of these trail easements together to present to town council for acceptance into the town's non-motorized trail easement system. You'll see a map up on the screen that shows there are actually the 7 easements before you tonight. 1 is in the area at the upper left. There are 4 in the area at the right, and then at the lower part. What?
Do you have a pointer that you could show us?
I have a finger. Bambi will point.
It's the black.
Okay. Bambi's going to point to the 4 trail easements on the right of the map, higher up. Those are part of the, I believe, Highland Road loop. And then at the southern part of the map, Bambi will point to, which is on the north side of the town core, north side of Cave Creek Road, Saguaro Hill. There are 2 easements depicted there. There's another one that will be attained within, I believe, the next year and a half or so. The applicant is willing, but the timing is off. So we continue to piece together trail easements that are useful to the town and, as I said, coincide with the trails map. So with that, either myself or Bambi can answer any questions you may have.
Mayor,
Any
it may be
questions
easier
from
to see page 22 of your packet.
Pardon?
The document is on page 22 of your packet.
Yeah.
There are 3 subsequent exhibit pages, 2 through 4, which show those trail easements in greater detail.
Oh, right.
Those are pages 23, 24, and 25.
Looks like you're almost getting a loop up there.
Almost there.
Questions from council?
I have a question.
Councilwoman Royer?
Could you tell me how long it took you all to accomplish these agreements?
Thank you. Mayor, Catherine, Councilmember Catherine. These deeds of gifts actually were 4 of them, people came to me and asked to have them dedicated to the town because they wanted to participate in our trails program. The first one was more of a housekeeping thing. The trail was there originally that when they bought the property, and when they built their house, they asked if they could move it. So it was just basically realigning it to a different area that worked better for their building area. And we do that frequently for owners so that they can work around the trail. We don't want to impede their property. We want to work with all of our participants. And then the last 2 along the Galloway Wash Trail, those people I've been working with for several years. And after I had accomplished the Horny Toad, behind the Horny Toad we have Gateway Park, and they were so gracious in giving us a trail up through there. The property owners then, to the would be the west of them, decided they wanted to also participate and bring these 2 motorized. So it just depends on who owns the property at the time, and if they use the trails or like to see the horses or other people on the trails, they want to participate. So it was really their idea. In fact, we have a council member here that was one of the participants. So he was.
In short, it takes a long time.
It does take a long time. I tell people I've been here 27 years. And, now I'm an overnight success.
Well, I was going to congratulate you. It's really a job well done. Thank you.
Any other questions?
No question, but I just want to say as one of the people that are granted an easement that I think it's great that the town is basically slowly whittling away on getting a good trail system in, and it's one of those things, it'd be great if we could just do it in one fell swoop, but that's not happening, so we just keep, family's been whittling away, and for it's a great thing to do, and for those interested, it does possibly confers tax benefits depending on your situation, so it's a good thing all around.
And it also relieves the property owners of liability unless they do something to cause an accident. But these particular property owners already have people on their property. And so now they want to just let people go there and know that they can go there. So
while it relieves
kind of
the homeowners of liability, does that assume that the town gets the real liability?
They become what's also covered also. Mr. Sims, you look like you really want to tell us something.
Mr. Mayor, council member, the benefit to the homeowner or the property owner is that it gets the property over, the easement over to the town, so it's clearly a public recreational easement for which the town has a statutory immunity. Having said that, the risk pool would cover for the liability. It wouldn't cover the liability for a property owner. And Councilmember Diefendorfer, when the manager turned to me, does he have a conflict? And I said no until you said tax benefits. So you now have a conflict.
True.
Oh, well.
Wait a minute, how many have we got?
7.
7? Yeah. Not enough.
I don't know.
Does he need to leave?
No. Well, some jurisdictions do that. I think it's contrary to the old meeting law. He's a citizen of the town. Yeah. He does not need to leave. But he does need to officially recuse himself and then not vote. Okay.
Officially done.
Okay. All right. There is public. Oh, did you have something?
No.
There is public comment on this item. Do we have any slips on this one? Okay. Back to council then. Can we get a motion from someone?
Motion to approve and accept deed of gifts for a 15-foot wide trail easement and release of an existing 15-foot wide trail easement from Dan Arteso. Motion to approve and accept deed of gift for a 10-foot wide public non-motorized trail easement from Thaler Family Trust. Motion to approve and accept deed of gift for a 10-foot wide non-motorized trail easement from DS Revocable Trust. Motion to approve and accept deed of gift for a 10-foot wide non-motorized trail easement from Mark and Wendy Dinnerstein Trust. Motion to approve and accept the deed of gift for a 10-foot wide non-motorized trail easement from GK and CL Trust. Motion to approve and accept deed of gift for a 15-foot wide non-motorized trail easement from Harold Sparks. Motion to approve and accept a deed of gift for a 10-foot wide non-motorized trail easement from Greg and Lisa Westrick.
Do we have a second? There you go. All right. Comment?
I think it's a great thing that they're willing to give for financial or non-financial gain.
Just a point of order.
Well, missed the word public and all
Yes.
those. Yeah, I noticed that.
Does that matter? Mr.
No.
Sims? No?
Okay.
But I'm wondering, if you wish to just vote on all the others but yours, you may. It's up to you if you want to.
Are we going to do them one at a time, or are we going to do them all at once? I was going to do them all at once.
If we do them all at once.
Then he can't vote.
No, other than his, then you can do it with one vote. When we has his, you're going to have to do a roll call because it's not unanimous, and so you have to do a roll call. So I would pull yours out, whichever, I don't know which one it is.
DS, the third one down.
So the motion would be to approve all of those. You may vote on all of those, and if it's unanimous, there isn't a roll call.
Got that?
Councilman Morris, did you want to make any comment on the, okay. All right, so what are we doing? I was marking it while you were talking, so.
I think whoever moves and seconded, amend that to say you're moving and seconding all but the DS revocable.
Okay.
Move to approve all said except for the DS revocable trust.
All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, thank you, Vice Mayor. 6-0, those carry. So now we need to move to the other one where somebody can't say anything.
Motion to approve and accept deed of gift for a 10-foot wide public non-motorized trail easement from DS Revocable Trust.
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Mr. Mayor, because it's unanimous, you have to have a roll call.
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we'll roll call this one.
Councilmember Morris,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Clancy,
Yes.
Councilmember Royer,
Yes.
Mayor Bunch.
Yes. What's it? 501? What's that
5-0
vote?
with one abstention. The minutes would say that.
Okay. Motion carries. Moving on to agenda item number 2. Council discussion, possible approval of resolution number R 2019-03, a resolution of the mayor and town council of the town of Cave Creek, Arizona, declaring that certain federal patent easement reservation generally located along the west side of 54th Street alignment between Carefree Highway and Barbie Lane is no longer necessary for public use as a roadway and utility purposes and is hereby abandoned.
Mayor, members of council, this is the last council action, public action for the property known as Park West Development that includes the Sprouts. This is a patent easement, and they're asking for the public right-of-way abandonment and contingent upon certain things. So let the town attorney explain sort of the legalities of what is proposed at this time and the timing of it and what actually will come next in terms of a public utility easement.
Mayor, members of council, this is the Park West project that includes the Sprouts development. It's significant to note, as the manager pointed out, that this is the last significant document to come before you. I've worked for governments who have really poured incentives upon incentives to get a Sprouts development, and we've not done that here. This is their lender detected or found an easement that was a federal patent easement that encumbered the property and needed it removed. There's a variety of statutes apply. The generic statutes that apply to you as a government that allows you to abandon an easement. But when it's a federal patent, the federal government has an oar in the water, and it's very difficult, particularly when the government's closed, to get federal approval. So the state statute says they've granted approval, but they've added a specific requirement that you have to notify and get the consent of all utility users of the easements. Back when these were created, utilities oftentimes used these easements. It was impossible to obtain those consents by tonight's meeting. It was essential for their due diligence with their lender to take action to abandon the easement, which is what you're doing today, other than the utility easement. And then once we're able to talk to the utilities, get a determination as to where those utilities need to be located, there will be a second easement, a public utility easement that will come to you either within the context of a plat or a site plan of some sort, but it will be subject to approval. And at that time, the abandonment of the easement for right-of-way will also be recorded, but it will be approved tonight. Let me think anything else. I think that's it. I don't know if the applicant has anything additional to say.
I'll answer questions.
Okay.
Do we have questions from council?
No.
Wow. Well, there's public comment on this. Seeing and hearing none, then I guess we're back to council. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to go ahead and make this motion. Then I can talk a little bit about it. Motion to approve resolution number R 2019-03, a resolution of the mayor and town council of the town of Cave Creek, Maricopa County, Arizona, declaring that certain federal patent easement reservation generally located along the west side of the 54th Street alignment between Carefree Highway and Barbie Lane is no longer necessary for public use as a roadway and utility purposes and is hereby abandoned contingent upon approval of a public utility easement.
Second.
All right. It's always given me a case of heartburn, the fact that this is a federal, the Congress created these with the Small Tract Act back in the 30s. And it's really what got me involved in local politics to begin with when the town tried to get rid of some of these to the benefit of neighbors I was having an argument, a neighbor dispute with. I don't believe that we actually have the right to do this. However, out of that resolution came what's on the last page of our documentation here, which is the 9-500.24, which gives us some cover when it says a city or town by its own motion or at the request of a property owner may abandon a federal patent easement established by the Small Tract Act of 1938 that the city or town determines after notifying and obtaining the consent of all affected utilities is not being used by the public or is no longer necessary in the same manner as other easements are abandoned. Now, getting Congress to go back and actually give us the right to do this would be like budging the elephant. It's never going to happen. But if the federal government, I'm okay with this. I'm going to support this tonight, even though it kind of goes against what my core beliefs about what rights we have. If the federal government is ignoring 30-some-odd states that are letting people purchase marijuana, I'm pretty sure they don't give a flip about us abandoning a patent easement this evening. So having said that, you had the second. Any comments?
No, I don't think so.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes clear to have it 6-0. That brings us to the end of tonight's meeting. If we could have a move to adjourn. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
That's a record.